Hi everyone, welcome to the THirD YouTube channel. We will discuss CSIR LifeScience December 2018 Part A questions from question number 8 to 13. For the remaining questions, you can watch our remaining videos. Question number 8. A circular running track has 6 lanes, each 1 meter wide. How far ahead in meters should the runner in the outermost lane start from so as to cover the same distance in 1 lap as the runner in the innermost lane? So what the question says is that these are the 6 lanes starting from this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you might have seen in the stadiums. So here is where the first runner starts and he will cover one distance. And it would be only fair when all the other runners cover the same distance. So what is the distance from here with respect to the first one should the other runners start? That is what we are going to find, and in this case we are going to find the outermost runners distance from with respect to the first one. So they have given us each lane is 1 meter wide. So this lane is 1 meter, here 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So when you count at the sixth most lane, it counts to, the radius counts to 6. So we have to find the perimeter of the circle here. So what is because it is circular, okay? So the perimeter of the first one is 2 pi r. So it is 1 meter, it is 2 pi. And the perimeter of the sixth one is 2 pi into 6, which counts to 12 pi. So what is the difference between the first and the last? It is 12 pi minus 2 pi, which is equal to 10 pi. So it would be fair only when the sixth person in the sixth lane starts from 10 pi distance with respect to the first person start place. Okay. So the option is option number 2. Now the number of questions answered by A will be given by what is his mark. His mark divided by the mark per question will give the number of questions he had attended. So he had got 40 marks divided by mark per question after the change is 1.25. So now this comes to 32. Okay. Now similarly the number of questions answered by B will be found by he had scored 35, right? So 35 divided by 1.25 will give 28. Now in addition to this 32, he had also answered 4 of the deleted questions. So add that also 4, which gives 36, and additional to 28 questions B had also answered 10. So it is 10, which comes to 38. Now what is the mark obtained by him by A? It is 40, and the mark obtained by B is 35. Now we can easily compare. He had answered only 36 questions and got 40 marks, while he answered 38 questions and got 35 marks. So you can see A had scored more compared to B. So B lost more than A is the right answer. Moving on to the next one. A tourist, I will solve by reading the question, so it will be easy. A tourist drives 20 km towards east. So when east is there, you can mention the direction. It will be easy. North, south, east and then west. So let this be the starting point. A tourist drives 20 km towards east, turns right. So he is walking towards east. So his right will be towards south. Okay. So he turns right and drives 6 km. So he drives 6 km. Then drives 6 km towards west. So west is here. He drives 6 km and he then turns to his left and drives 4 km. So his left would be here, that is towards south, and he travels 4 km and finally turns right and drives 14 km. So he turns right here and he drives some 14 kilometers. Now where is he from his starting point? So he in order to find that, you can see in the y-axis the distance is 6 plus 4. So he is totally 10 kilometers towards south in case of y, and in case of x it is like he had traveled, the total distance is 20 and subtract it from 6 so that you get 14. So remaining is 14. So obviously he is in the same starting point. So in x-axis he is in the same starting point, but now look for the options here. You can see they have mentioned the y-axis one, so it is 10 kilometers towards south is the right answer, right? Next, the 11th question. If SELDOON means NOODLES, then what does SPUOS means? So it is very easy. You can see from the given word, like it is the ulta way of this one. So it is NOODLES. So you can easily write for this also. SPUOS counts to SOUPS. So 2 is the right answer. You see? Next. An ideal pendulum oscillates with angular amplitude of 30 degrees from the vertical. If it is observed at a random instant of time, its angular deviation from vertical is most likely to be. So, an ideal pendulum. Let us draw a pendulum. So, an ideal pendulum, its way of oscillation, it oscillates, and they have given the angle to be with respect to the center point, it is 30. So here 30 and here 30. If it is observed at a random instant of time, its angular deviation from the vertical. So when you are randomly looking at any point in time, which spot is the most likely spot for the pendulum to be spotted? For this, you can see. So when the pendulum is at its extreme end, you know it has to reverse its direction to the other side. So when it has to reverse its direction, it spends quite a lot time compared to its time during its oscillation. So when you see at any random instant of time, you could spot it at plus or minus 30, because it has to reverse its directions at either of its sides. So it has to spend some time. So the option goes to option number 4. Now, moving on to the last one. In the context of tiling a plane surface, which of the following polygons is the odd one out? So here, your job is to tile a plane surface using the given shapes. So let us draw using all the things and find which one is the odd one out. First one is equilateral triangle. In case of equilateral triangle, all the sides, all the angles are equal. So for example, when you take, you can tile it like this. And in the from here you can tile it like this. So this extra space could be filled by cutting a half portion of this equilateral and fixing here. So you can again fill this, right? In case of square, you can easily fill the planar surface. So you can also leave option 2 and moving on to option number 3. It is regular pentagon. Okay. So in case of regular pentagon, it is like this. So the total angle of a pentagon equals to 540 and each side counts to 108 degree. Okay, so you can see when you are trying to arrange a regular pentagon, you can see this all these angles are obtuse. But when it comes here, in this case, it is acute. So you can't fix a pentagon here because none of your angles of the pentagon is acute. So leave it as such. Moving on to the 4th one, it is regular hexagon. So regular hexagon, in this case, you know, like it is similar to like honeycomb filling. You have like this. Try to fill also here, and the spacing could be filled by cutting a half of a hexagon. So even in this case, like you can continue this and you can tile a plane surface. Now in all the 4 cases, only this regular pentagon lacks in tiling a plane surface. So option 3 is the odd one out. So hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. For the remaining videos, please tune to our channel. Bye.